Okay. Is my screen visible right now?
Yes, teacher, it is visible.
Okay. Thank you. I'll start with the lecture.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Good morning, students. I am Padmini Narka, teacher from Chembur Naka MPS School. And today we are going to learn English chapter from Kumar Bharti, Standard 9th, Unit 4.4, My Financial Career. So please open your English textbooks. Stephen P.H. Butler Leacock. This person is the author of our chapter, My Financial Career. So let's have a brief idea about him. 30th December 1869 to 28th March 1944. He was a Canadian teacher, political scientist, writer, and humorist. Between the years 1915 and 1925, he was the best known English speaking humorist in the world. He is known for his light humor along with criticism of people's follies. That means he used to point out their mistakes in a humorous way. Now let's begin with the warming up. As it's a cold morning, so we need a little warming up, right? So my financial career warming up, page number 100 of your English Kumar Bharti textbook. When you open a savings account at bank, you need to fill up deposit forms, slips. Observe the following forms and fill up your details. Now, students, you should be aware, like when you go to the bank, if you go for some work related to your bank account, if you have to deposit cash or you have to deposit your check, you need to fill in the pay slip. So how to fill that is shown in this question. Now, this is the slip that you get in your bank, whichever bank you have your account in. Okay. It is written, see, on the left hand side corner, branch. So which branch that account is, in which bank. Okay. So you need to mention the branch, the place where that bank is located. Then you have the date on the right hand side, the date on which you are depositing that cash or check. You need to mention that date. Then for the credit off, so you have to write the name of the account holder. Now, if it is your name, if it is your account, you will write your name. If it is your parents or somebody else's pay slip that you're filling in, then you need to write the name of the account holder. Okay. Then you have the account number. So you have to write the account number that has been given to you for your account, for your bank account. Okay. Then drawn on bank. Now the check that you are depositing, now if you are depositing a check, it is in favor, like it is from which bank, you need to write the name of the bank. Then again, the branch, it will be written on that check only. The check number, it is written at the end. There's one line which contains numbers at the bottom of the check. So the first number that is there, that is the check number. You need to mention that. Okay. Then you need to mention the amount. Now see here, there is cash note. So if you're depositing a cash instead of check, you need to mention the denomination, like 2000 rupees note, how many notes are there? 500 rupees, how many notes are there? You need to mention the denomination, and then the total you need to mention in the amount. Okay. So now at present, we are talking about the check that we are depositing. So here in the cash notes, we won't be filling anything. But if you're filling in cash, if you're gone to the bank to deposit cash, then you need to mention the denomination. Okay. So either of it. Once you finish writing the amount, then you have to mention that total amount in words. Okay. So it is necessary to fill the amount in numericals also and in words also. Okay. So once you are done through that, then you need to sign deposited by, the signature is there. Okay. So I hope you've understood this, how to fill in this payslip. Let's move on. Then now contact details. Now below you have your address, okay, the contact details, telephone number, whether it is your residence number, then your mobile number, your email address also you can mention over here. So students, this is how you fill in the pay slip, like when you have to deposit your check or if you have to deposit your cash in your bank account or in anybody's, if you're helping someone who is illiterate, who doesn't know to read or write. Okay. So you need to fill in all these details when you deposit your check or when you deposit your cash in the bank account. I hope you all have understood this. We'll just move on. We'll move to question number 2 now. Write in your own words. Why does the bank need so many details of its customers? Okay, now as you saw when you're filling, now you're going to fill in the check in the bank. So you'll think, why to write so many things? Already the check, there is all the details mentioned. Your name is there, your account number is everything. We can fill it just behind the check, and you can just give the check in the bank. But no, why does the bank need so many details of its customer? So now let's see why the bank is doing, why it requires so many things. The bank needs so many details of its customer to avoid fraudulent transactions and safeguard their accounts. Banks ask questions to its customers on different matters because they want to know them and their life situation, so that they can provide good advice and offer banking services suited to the needs of its customers through Know Your Customer, that is KYC. You must have heard a number of times, you have to submit your KYC. So what does KYC mean? KYC means know your customer. Okay. Banks get information from customers so that they can support banks against, customers, so that they can support banks against crime and bear their share of social responsibility. Now, the banks, they are doing customer service. Okay. They are serving us. So they are trying to help us so that no one can cheat us. Okay. So they can do us some social responsibility when they are working, when they're taking all these details. Okay. Now let's move on. The second question is, what problems do customers face when they have to make a cash deposit at a bank? Now, for example, if you're gone to the bank to deposit some cash, so what are the difficulties that you will face? Some of the problems that customers have to face when they have to make a cash deposit at a bank are that there is a long queue, so it consumes a lot of time. Okay, so everyone, no one likes to stand in queues nowadays. They want their work to be done instantly. Okay, so for the first thing that the customers don't like is standing in a queue. Knowledge of filling up the details of a form is a must, which is troublesome for illiterate people. As I told you, while filling the slips, the paying slip, you must be helping somebody who is illiterate. They don't know how to read and write. Now, it's not necessary that all people are there to help you over there, right? Everyone is busy. Even the young children nowadays are very busy with their own work. So there is no one to help you, and it will be really a problem for the illiterate people. Sometimes a bank server is down and not functioning, which can be a problem in depositing cash. Now, when we are going to deposit amount in our own account, but the server is down, so the bank, they can't help us, and there will be a lot of queue and rush over there. Okay. Then, moreover, many banks will not let you deposit cash into an account which does not bear your name as an account holder. Now, for example, it is not your own account. You are helping your friend or you're helping somebody. So they won't allow you to do that. They want the account holder to come in the bank to deposit, because nowadays depositing cash and carrying heavy cash is also a risk. So bank will not allow all these things. Okay. So these are the things that the customers face, the problems that the customers face when they go to deposit cash. Okay. Now next one is, what are the latest modern methods of depositing money in your own or somebody else's account? Now see, because the customers are facing a lot of problems. So now, as I told you, that the bank is in the customer service, they need to help the customers. They want to make their customers happy. So what bank is doing to help that? Okay. So some of the latest modern methods of depositing money in your own or somebody's account are ATM counters. Nowadays, if you want to withdraw cash or you want to deposit cash, you can go to the ATM counter to do that. Okay. With the ATM counters, withdraw cash at any automated teller machine. Then check and pay order. electronic fund transfer, standing order. Okay, so these are some of the things. Then we have SWIFT, that is international account transfer. Like if somebody is out of India, you can transfer the amount through SWIFT. Online banking, nowadays this is really very helpful. There's overdraft. You say it as OD facility, so that is overdraft facility. And of course, we have nowadays banking through apps in your Android mobile. You can download the bank app, okay, and you can set your own password and you can operate your account through your banking apps. So these are the facilities which banks have made available for their customers, so that the customers don't have to come to the bank and waste their time and stand in the long queues and all these things. Okay. Now, question number 3 is make a word web of at least 12 words related to banking. Now, students, as you know, you get a 2 marks question in your English written paper, okay, regarding the word register. So regarding banking, whatever words that come in your mind. Now, some of the words related to banking are as follows. One is balance. Now, in the bank, you need to check your balance. What is the balance in your account? Then bank statement is important. Borrower, then card holder, credit limit, depositor, interest, overdraft, passbook, savings, tele banking, pay in slip, which we just saw how to fill in the pay in slip, withdrawal. Okay, so these are some of the words, and there may be many words which may come in your mind. These are some of the words that I have written so that it will be helpful to you. Okay, so if you get a question in your paper to write a word register of around 4 words or 8 words, so you can make use of these words relating to bank. Okay, relating to bank. Okay, so now this was a warming up that we did right now. Let's start with the chapter, page number 101, My Financial Career. I'm reading the chapter slowly and I'll make you understand. Please pay attention, everyone. When I go into a bank, I get rattled. The clerks rattle me. The wickets rattle me. The sight of the money rattles me. Everything rattles me. Now, here, rattles me means the person, the author who is talking to us, who's sharing his experience, how he has, what was his experience when he went to the bank, that he's telling us regarding that. So he's telling us that everything, like because he's nervous, rattles means he's a little nervous regarding that. So anything that whenever he steps into the bank, everything over there scares him. He becomes nervous. Okay. The moment I cross the threshold of a bank, I am a hesitating J. If I attempt to transact business there, I become an irresponsible idiot. Now, this author is so much nervous regarding the bank, you know, uh, his experience in the bank. What he says is, as soon as he enters the bank, when he crosses the door, that is the threshold, the entry of the bank, he becomes nervous. And whatever he tries to do over there, he tries to make some or the other mistake, and he becomes a irresponsible idiot over here. Okay, that means he doesn't understand, like he always makes some mistake. I knew this beforehand, but my salary had been raised to $50 a month, and I felt that the bank was the only place for it. Now this person, he was working, and luckily his salary had increased, it was raised to $50. So he thought that instead of spending the money, it is good to deposit that extra money in the bank. So I shambled in and looked timidly around at the clerks. I had an idea that a person about to open an account must need consult the manager. Now, what he had heard, because this was the first time that he is going in the bank, what he had heard, that if you have to open a new account, you need to consult the manager. You need to speak to the manager. This was what he had heard. Now, he doesn't actually know how to open an account because he did not have any account in that bank. This was his first time. I went up to a wicket marked accountant. The accountant was a tall, cool devil. The very sight of him rattled me. My voice was sepulchral. Now, as he somebody had guided him by saying that if you want to open a new account, you need to speak to the manager. So he went to one of the counters in the bank. He saw a man who was very tall, and now for him, because he was scared, he was nervous, he found that person like a devil. Okay. And he was little pale looking at that person. Can I see the manager? I said, and added solemnly, alone. I don't know why I said alone. Now, as you know, this person was really very scared. He was nervous. So he spoke to the accountant and he told him that I want to see the manager. And he said, automatically it came out from his mouth, alone. Certainly, said the accountant, and fetched him. Now, as I told you, the bankers are always ready to welcome the new customers. So he was happy, like there is a new customer in the bank. So he said, yes, of course, I will call the manager. The manager was a grave, calm man. I held my $56 clutched in a crumpled ball in my pocket. Now, this person, like the author who had gone to the bank for the first time with his $56 in his pocket. Now, when the manager came in front of him, he found that manager, like actually, this manager was a calm man. So, are you the manager? I said. God knows I didn't doubt it. Yes, he said. Can I see you? I asked. Alone? I didn't want to say alone again, but without it, the thing seemed self evident. Now, because he had already told the accountant that he wants to speak to the manager alone. So, when the manager came in front of him, he again said he wants to speak to him alone. The manager looked at me in some alarm. He felt that I had an awful secret to reveal. Now the manager thought that this person he wants to speak to me alone. So he thought that there is some secret that he wants to tell the manager. Come in here, he said, and led the way to a private room. He turned the key. Now there was a special room where the manager used to meet the customers who were interested in speaking to him personally. We are safe from interruption here, he said. Sit down. We both sat down and looked at one another. I found no voice to speak. You are one of Pinkerton's men, I presume, he said. Now, what the manager thought is this person, he wants to speak to me alone. So maybe he's from some detective agency. And over there in where the author was staying in that country, Pinkerton's is a detective agency. Okay. Turn the page to page number 101. He had gathered from my mysterious manner that I was a detective. I knew what he was thinking, and it made me worse. Now, this person, the author, he came to know that the manager is thinking that he is a detective. No, not from Pinkerton's, I said, seemingly to imply that I came from a rival agency. To tell the truth, I went on as if I had been prompted to lie about it. I am not a detective at all. I have come to open an account. I intend to keep all my money in this bank. Now, this person, the author, uh, told the manager that he's not a detective and he's not from Pinkerton or nor he's from any other rival agency, like no other agency. He's just a simple common man and he's come here in this bank to open an account. He wants to deposit all his money in the bank. The manager looked relieved, but still serious. He concluded, now that I was a son of a Baron Rothschild or a young Gould. Okay, now the manager first he thought that he was a detective, but now as he told that he's not a detective, now what the manager is thinking that he's a very rich person, like how we have the Ambanis or the Tatas or the Birlas like that. Okay, so maybe he is having a lot of money and he wants to deposit the money in their bank. A large account, I suppose, he said. Now manager is thinking that he's having a lot of money, so he wants to open a new account away. Fairly large, I whispered. Now, for the author, that $56 also was a large amount. I propose to deposit $56 now and $50 a month regularly. Now, what did the author tell him? Yes, I want to open a new account and it is a large amount of money. It is $56 now, and every month I'm going to deposit $50. Now, this amount is a large amount for the author, but not for the manager. Okay. The manager got up and opened the door. He called to the accountant. Now the manager was really furious, was angry. Just to open a new account with $56, and this person wants to talk to me in alone, okay, in a private room. So he called the accountant. Mr. Montgomery, he said, unkindly loud, this gentleman is opening an account. He will deposit $56. Good morning. Now, this is the way the manager addressed the accountant, like because he was furious, he was angry because this person had wasted a lot of time for office. I rose. A big iron door stood open at the side of the room. Good morning, I said, and stepped into the safe. Come out, said the manager coldly, and showed me the other way. Now he came out of that room, that private room where he was sitting with the manager to discuss regarding opening a new account. Then the accountant guided him to come out of the room, and he showed him the way to open a, to go to the counter where they can open a new account. I went up to the accountant's wicket and poked the ball of money at him with a quick, convulsive movement as if I were doing a conjuring trick. Now, as soon as he came out and he went to the manager's counter, he gave that money which he was carrying in his hand in his pocket uh, to that manager. My face was ghastly pale. Now, this person, because now already he has a bad experience with the manager. Now he's little pale, he's little more intention. Here I said deposited. The tone of the word seemed to mean let us do this painful thing while the fit is on us. Now, like as if he's telling the accountant that let us deposit this money in the account. He took the money and gave it to another clerk. He made me write the sum on a slip and sign my name in a book. I no longer knew what I was doing. The bank swam before my eyes. Now, as the accountant told him, okay, he guided him to another clerk. There he made him fill the slip like how I guided you right now in the beginning in the warming up exercise, how to fill the pain slip. So in the same way, the clerk guided him over there. And now he thought that the work is done. Is it deposited? I asked in a hollow, vibrating voice. It is, said the accountant. Like his work was done. He filled in the slip, and his money is deposited. Then I want to draw a check. Now what he's saying that I want to withdraw some money. Now the amount is deposited, and now I want to withdraw. My idea was to draw out $6. Now he had deposited $56, and he wants to withdraw. The author wants to withdraw $6 of it for present use, like he for his daily expenses. Someone gave me a checkbook through a wicket, and someone else began telling me how to write it out. Now this was the first time for the author. Now his account was opened. He has deposited $56 in the bank. Now he's saying that he needs some money to spend, so he wants to withdraw $6. So now how to withdraw? You need to write it the check. So now the people in the bank, the clerk, they were helping him how to write the check. The people in the bank had the impression that I was an invalid millionaire. I wrote something on the check and thrust it at the clerk. He looked at it. Now, this person, he filled in the check, he filled in the amount, and he gave it to the clerk. What? Are you drawing it all out again? He asked in surprise. Now, what happened when he was writing the check? As it is, you know that he was really very this. He was feeling scared. Okay, so he was confused. So instead of writing $6, what this person did, he wrote $56, like the amount that he deposited. He has mentioned the full amount on the check to withdraw. So then what was the use of depositing that? So that's why the clerk over there, he was surprised. Then I realized that I had written 56 instead of 6. Okay, as he was nervous, he realized that by mistake, instead of writing $6 to withdraw, he had written 56. I was too far gone to reason now. I had a feeling that it was impossible to explain the thing. All the clerks had stopped writing to look at me. Now, what happened is they saw this first person who has come in the bank. He opened a new account, and at the same time, whatever money he has deposited in the account, now he wants to withdraw the full amount. So everyone stopped working and they were looking at this person. Reckless with misery, I made a plunge. Yes, the whole thing. Now, even this author, instead of admitting his mistake, what he's saying, yes, I want to withdraw 56. You withdraw your money from the bank, every cent of it. Are you not going to deposit anymore? Said the clerk, astonished. Now, the clerk is asking him, like, you want to withdraw the full amount? Don't you want to deposit anything? Never. An idiot hope struck me that they might think something had insulted me while I was writing the check, and that I had changed my mind. I made a wretched attempt to look like a man with a fearfully quick temper. Now, what he wants to show is that he's very angry. It seems he's angry on some of the clerk who was guiding him, and he's a bad tempered person. And he's saying, "Yes, I don't want to deposit any money right now. I want to withdraw my the amount that I have deposited. I want to withdraw all the amount." The clerk prepared to pay the money. Now, the bank cannot refuse, na, because his own money. What if he wants to withdraw it? They have to give him. How will you have it? He said. Now, he had written $56. So he's asking me, like, he's asking that person, how you want to withdraw it? What? How will you have it? Oh, I caught the meaning and answered without even trying to think in 50s. Now, just imagine it is only $56 and he's saying he wants in 50s. Now 56. So in 50s means he'll just receive one note of 50 and other will be the change. That is the $6 will be change. He gave me a $50 bill and the six he asked dryly. In sixes, I said. He gave it to me and I rushed out. So he just realized that what a fool he had been in the bank. He took the money immediately that he received, that is a $50 note and $6, and he just rushed out. As the big door swung behind me, I caught the echo of a roar of laughter that went up to the ceiling of the bank. As soon as he went out of the bank, everyone in the bank started laughing loudly, and it was so loud that everyone, like even that laugh, could be heard outside. Since then, I bank no more. Now, this was a really bad experience that the author had got in the bank the first time that he had gone to open an account. So, I keep my money in cash in my trousers pocket and my savings in silver dollars in a socks. So, from then onwards, he had decided he will never go or he will never deposit any money in the bank. And what he does is he collects his savings, he keeps it in his trousers pocket and the silver dollars in a sock. That is the socks that you wear. Okay. So this was the experience of the author in the bank. I hope you all have never have had such an experience. Okay. So we have finished with the chapter reading and the explanation. Now let's go to the in-text questions. Now the first question, the in-text question is, what makes the narrator nervous at a bank? This question is on page number 101. The clerks, the wickets, the sight of the money rattles the writer. In short, everything in a bank makes the narrator nervous. Okay. So this is the answer to the in-text question number 1. Next is, what word should he have avoided in his request to see the manager? In his request to see the manager, the writer should have avoided the word alone. By mistake, he said alone, and that created all the confusion. So he should have avoided this word. Next is, why was the manager alarmed? The manager was alarmed because the writer told him that he wanted to meet him alone. He thought that the writer had an awful secret to reveal. Like, he was surprised. The manager was surprised. Like, why this person wants to speak to me alone? So what the manager thought, like he's a detective or somebody and he wants to share some secret. Okay. Who did he think was his visitor? As I told you all before, the manager thought that the visitor was one of Pinkerton's men. Pinkerton is a detective agency. So the manager thought that he is one of the agent from a detective agency. What procedure did the author have to follow to open the account? Now, when he went to the bank, what he had to do to open his account? To open the account, the writer had to meet the accountant, write the sum on a slip, and sign his name in a book. So this was the procedure that he had to follow to open his new account in the bank. Page number 102. What error did the author make in the check? Did he correct it? Instead of writing the amount as only $6, the writer made a very silly error of writing it as $56 in the check. And later, he did not even correct it. Now, okay, see, mistakes happen by everyone. No one is perfect. Now, this was his first time. This was that author's first time. So if he had mentioned that by mistake he has written 56 instead of 6, maybe the clerk would have understood and they would have given him another slip to fill in and another check to write in, and the work would have been done. But no, this author, he didn't want to show others that uh, it was a mistake that he had made. So he did not even mention it. He did not correct it. Next is page number 103. Why did the author pretend to appear like a bad tempered man? To hide his foolish mistake, the narrator pretended that somebody had insulted him in the bank and he attempted to look like a man with a fearfully bad temper. Like he didn't want to show that he had made a mistake. And that's the reason he did not correct it. And he showed that he's a bad tempered man and he had been insulted in the bank. And that's the reason he's angry now. What decision has the author taken after the episode at the bank? Now, when he has faced such a bad experience in the bank, what has he decided? After the episode at the bank, the author decided to keep his money in cash in his trousers pocket and his savings in silver dollars in a socks. Very wrong decision. See, this was his first experience. Maybe next time he has already learned from you should learn from your mistakes. So if he had corrected himself, he would have not faced this problem next time, and he could have collected his money in the bank. Because see, when you deposit money, when you collect money in the bank, you get interest on that. At home, even if you keep your money in any cupboard or anywhere, that is not going to grow unless you unless you keep on adding money to that. But in the bank, you get interest on the amount that you deposit. So it is really wise to save your amount, the extra money that you have in a bank, instead of keeping it at home or keeping it in your trousers pocket or anywhere else. Next, is the author's last decision wise? Now we all know from the whole chapter, the whole story, the whole experience that we have read right now, that the decision that he made was not correct. It was wrong. No, according to me, the author's last decision is not wise enough. The behavior of the writer simply shows that he is not a confident in banking, which is absolutely fine. We can't know everything in the world, but it is absolutely wrong if we do not improve on it. He should learn the banking system properly and continue visiting banks. He should have learned to overcome his fear of banks. Okay. Now that fear of bank will never go from his memory. He has to overcome this fear. So, okay, the first experience was bad, but then you should learn from whatever mistakes you do, and next time maybe he would have not faced this problem. But the author over here, he was scared. He was insulted. Like he felt that he was insulted, and he didn't want to share that he didn't know anything about the bank, and that's the reason he did not admit his mistake. And after that, he decided that he will never go in a bank. Now let's move to the English workshop, page number 104. Question number 1. Find from the lessons the antonyms of the following. Now, as I have read this chapter for you all, you also have to read this chapter and you will find out the antonyms. Antonyms means the opposites. Okay. So from the chapter, so you have to get the meanings from the passage itself. So afterwards, the antonym that has come in the chapter is beforehand, spending, earning. Withdraw, the opposite, the antonym is deposit. Confidently, timidly. Careful, hesitating. Cheerful, sepulchral. Okay, so these were the antonyms that had come across in the lesson. Let's move to the second question. Fill in the blanks choosing the appropriate word idiom from the lesson. The dash solved the mysterious crime. The detective. Second one, in the examination, I did not know the answer, so you have to fill in the blank over here. So I became a hesitating J. He was dizzy and he dashed into the room. He was dizzy and he shambled into the room. While arguing with his elders, he had made a wretched attempt to look like a man with a fearfully quick temper. The sight of a snake rattled him. The last one, as soon as I dash off my home, I greet my family. As soon as I cross the threshold of my home, I greet my family. Okay, so this was the fill in the blanks. Just go through these. Okay, let's move on. Using the following points, frame a character sketch of the narrator. Support each character trait with instances from the lesson. Now, the character sketch has been given. The first one is diffident and timid. Okay. Then they have given unusual behavior. Then ignorant about banking. Fourth one is nervous and careless. And fifth one is economical. Now, according to this character, you have to share the instances that we have read in the lesson. Okay, so now let's see. The first one is diffident and timid. How do we know that the author was diffident or the writer he was diffident and timid? The writer's salary had been raised to $50 a month, and the bank was the only safe place for it. But he got diffident and timid to speak to the staff in the bank. So by this, we come to know that he was diffident and timid. Next one is unusual behavior. When the narrator caught the sight of the accountant, his voice went sepulchral. He asked for the manager and asked solemnly alone. That was the unusual behavior of the writer. Like, how do we know that the behavior of the writer was unusual? So we come to know by these two experiences. Next is ignorant about banking. The writer says the moment he crosses the threshold of a bank, he becomes a hesitating J, and if he has to transact business there, he becomes an irresponsible idiot. So by this we come to know that the author, that is the writer, is ignorant about the banking. Nervous and careless. He gets nervous on receiving the checkbook to enter the amount to be withdrawn. The writer goes careless when he enters $56 in the check instead of just 6. Okay, so this shows that he was really very nervous and he was careless also. Like he made mistake, instead of writing 6, he wrote 56. The last one is economical. The writer's attitude gets economical when he decides to keep his money in cash in his trousers pocket and his savings in silver dollars in a sock. So by this we come to know that he is a economical person. Okay, I hope you have understood till now. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 4, rewrite the following in indirect speech. That is the reported speech. Can I see the manager? I said. Certainly, said the accountant. Now, this is a direct speech and we have to uh, change it to indirect and we need to rewrite it. So, I asked whether I could see the manager and the accountant replied in affirmative. That means he replied in a positive way. Good morning, I said and stepped into the safe. Come out, said the manager coldly. The manager ordered me coldly to go out. The words seem to mean, let us do this painful thing while the fit is on us. Now, how will we change this to indirect speech? The words seem to mean that we should do that painful thing while the fit was on us. The next one, what? Are you drawing it all out again? He asked in surprise. Yes, the whole thing, I said. He exclaimed in surprise and asked whether I was drawing it all out again. I replied in the affirmative that I would draw the whole thing. How will you have it? He said. In 50s, I said. He asked how I would have it, and I replied that I would have it in 50s. Now let's move on to the next question. Question number 5. Read the statement with read the statement, write your views first and counter view later in two separate passages. Online net banking is better than going personally to the bank for transactions. Now here you have to write it's your views and your counter. So views means you have to speak in favor of this topic, and counter view means you have to speak against the topic. Okay, and you all know in your 80 marks written paper you have this question which carries 5 marks. Okay, so students just pay attention to this. This is very important. Now let's see the views about online banking. As I told you, views means the advantages, the positive things you need to tell about the online banking. Online banking provides plenty of benefits. It is easier for customers to check their accounts, pay their bills, and move money from one account to the other. There are many perks of online banking with internet connection. Banks are open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Updating and maintaining a direct account is also easier. It takes minutes to change your mailing address, other additional check, and look for current interest rates. Another advantage of online banking is mobility. Now see here, there are so many benefits of online banking. If you have to go physically in a bank, you have to waste a lot of time to go over there to the bank, do whatever work you have. Okay, it is going to waste a lot of time. So if it is online, you can do it any time of the day. Not necessarily you have to take a leave. No, not have to. You don't have to waste your time going over there. You can do it from your home at any time, because the if you have internet service, it is open 365 days a year, 24 hours in a day. Okay, so here you are saving a lot of time. Online banking now includes mobile capabilities. Now, if you have an Android phone, your bank is in your phone only. Okay, so you can operate your account. Whatever request, whatever changes you have to make in your account, you want to deposit anything, you want to withdraw, you want to transfer your money, you want to change any details. Okay, you need to update anything in your bank account, you can do it online. New applications are now continually being created to expand and improve the capability on smartphones and other mobile devices. Now, if you have to open a new account, you don't have to go to the bank. You can do it from your phone also. Next amazing feature of online banking is smooth transfers. Now, before, when we didn't have all these facilities, we had to, if you have to transfer amount, if you have to send money to somebody who's outstation, there were a lot of procedure. You have to go to the bank, you have to fill in the slip, and a lot of things were there. But now you can do it from your mobile itself. If you have an Android phone, if you have the app of the bank or internet service, by using internet banking, you can do money transfer anywhere. Accounts can be automatically funded from a traditional bank account. It helps to transfer the money immediately and accurately. Like, see, going to the bank, withdrawing money, then going to the person and giving him. Okay, in this, you can also lose the money. There are so many instances that happen where the pickpocketers, snatch away your money and all this. So here, when you're doing it online, you don't have all that fear. You can transfer the exact amount of money. Okay. Online banking is less time consuming. As I told you, you are not going to waste time over here. Also, it is considered to be a safe and secure method, and you have permanent access to the bank. Okay, online is a safe and secure method. You don't have to no, you don't have to fear about doing these transactions online. So these were the views about online banking. Now let's see the counter views. What are the disadvantages? Counter view. See, as we say, a coin has always two sides. So there are good things also and there are some bad things also. Now let's see what are the counter views. One disadvantage of internet banking relates to withdrawing money. While most businesses accept debit and credit cards, people still like to have cash on them too. Now see, nowadays, hardly we carry cash in our wallets. Nowadays we have GPay, Paytm, and so many things that we can transact online. But there are some people who like to see cash in their wallets. So for them, this is a disadvantage. Okay. Nowadays, if you see anyone's, if you check your father's pocket, your father's wallet, you will find all the debit cards, credit cards, and all these things. In the mobile, he will be having his GPay and internet banking and all these facilities. But before, the wallets used to be full with cash. Okay. So people who are fond of that, they don't like doing all these online transactions. Okay. Hence, you can't withdraw cash over the internet. So you still have to visit your bank's physical location. So now, for those people who want cash in their wallet, they have to go to the bank to withdraw the cash or either the ATM machine. Okay, so or pay service fees by withdrawing money at an ATM that's not associated with your bank. Now, it's not necessary that your bank's ATM will be near your residence or near your place. So if you withdraw money from another ATM, you have to pay some extra money for that. So again, here there is a loss for the consumer, the customer. Another disadvantage of online banking is the customer service. Although online banks have implemented chatting features and offer customer service numbers for those with questions and inquiries, it still doesn't compare to the customer. Like when you dial a helpline number, like you have some doubt, you have some queries, and you call the helpline number, there is an automated voice recorder, and it will guide you, press number 1 for this, press number 2 for this, and you really get irritated. And continuously the customer service people are talking to some other customers and they're busy, and you don't get that personal touch when you're talking to that automated machine. Only when you speak to a real person, you are satisfied. So for people who don't like to speak to these answering machines, this is a disadvantage of the bank, because customers actually want to speak to a person. They want to meet the person, solve their doubts. Okay, they whatever doubts they have, they want to ask their queries, but they want to speak to a person and not to a answering machine. Okay, so that is a disadvantage. Service you'll receive by banking at a physical bank location. Like, what, there are some people who like to visit the bank, speak to the staff over there, the different people with different authorities, dignitaries over there, and they like to get the whatever queries they like to solve to a physical person, not to be answered on a phone. Next drawback of internet banking could be that most banks make sure that their website are secure, but no bank website is immune from cybercrime and hacking. Now, this is a really very serious thing. And now that nowadays there is a lot of cybercrime happening, and we have heard about so many things where the people have been robbed from their from their bank accounts online. Okay, so that's the reason even the banks warn us for not sharing our password to anyone on the phone, and we need to keep on changing our passwords and not to share it with anyone, not even your closest person. Okay, because the cyber crimes and this internet hacking and all these things, the account hacking, this happens when we share a password. Okay, and as I told you, there are a lot of, like, everyone is not that educated, or they are not updated regarding this online banking things, and they are prone to sharing their passwords to somebody who will help them, but they don't know when they will be cheated. So we have to be aware about this. So this is one disadvantage. Hackers target bank websites to swipe account information. Continuously, there are hackers who are trying to get some information about the bank account holders. They check which account is having a lot of money, or they try to speak to people purposely to find out uh, how much money they have in their account, and then they try to cheat them. Other pitfalls of online banking include difficulty in getting onto the internet or certain times of the day. Now, in the peak hours, in the daytime, the sometimes what happens is we are not being able to do our work that swiftly. So again, that is little problem. Weekday evenings are the most popular. Internet connection is required for net banking. Now, the main thing is internet connection. If you don't have an internet connection, you won't be able to bank online. If bank server is down or internet speed is slow, then online transaction is not possible. Okay, like if you have to do some important work, and if the server is down, then that work will not be done. One must know the basics of computers and internet in order to use internet banking. Like if you are opting for internet services, you should know the basics of banking. Okay, and how to use the internet banking. Further, your account can be misused if your password and PIN ID comes in the hands of an unauthorized person. As I told you, you don't have to share. Do not share your PIN and your password to anyone, not even your closest friend, because what will happen is somebody will misuse. Okay, and some unauthorized person may misuse that information, and your account balance will go down. That means khali ho jayega. Okay, so please be careful regarding online banking and regarding these hackers. Okay, there are some people who are doing all this online crime, so please be aware of these people, and also help your parents, so that they are also, you can also tell them regarding all these things happening in online banking. Okay, so please help your
Uh,
parents regarding this.
Hello, teacher.
Yes.
Actually, time is completed.
Yeah, I've just done, it's over.
Lecture. Ha. Okay, okay, teacher.
Yeah. Children, we have just finished this. So if you have any doubts,